I run a big business, and any business, if I need to go and look at a business to acquire or do a merger with that business or an acquisition or whatever, then I look at the finances first. And you can't have a business that is owed the money that the municipality is owed. Their outstanding debt to them is over 800 million rand. It's impossible for them to survive. Impossible. So I'm asking the question so many times, like I've asked many of the high-ranking officials, politicians, how do you allow that to happen? I don't understand that. And I'm talking about, in simple terms, out of a business perspective. It's money. If you don't get money in, you can't pay for whatever. And because of that, there's many things that go astray. They can't rebuild roads. They can't fix the potholes. They can't. And it's not the official's fault. It might be a whole system's fault. And I don't know where the problem lies exactly. But because of that, I'll tell you what then happens. They can't attract new businesses to Kimberley. There's no incentive scheme from the municipality to attract a new business. In actual fact, what's happened is that Kimberley is now, according to Eskom, the most expensive city to do business with electricity. The most expensive municipality in the country. So that basically just what happens, slowly happens, is that businesses close down and they leave. And they might not even go somewhere else. They just liquidate, they just disappear. Because in my terms, I won't be able to compete in a world market. My meat and the process behind it, the cost of producing gets too expensive. So the message that I want to give you, and I sincerely hope that the privilege that I've had here today, you will convey to whoever, and that might be seen as a positive contribution, because that's my intention. So what typically happens is that with a municipality, and I've had it from Ekurhuleni to all the municipalities, when we talk about this and we complain, then we are judged as being maybe politically motivated. I've got no political motivation, nothing. All I want to do is I want to grow my business and I want to employ more people. That's what I want to do. And you might think, yeah, but this is just a tender or just an entrepreneur that's the one who takes the money and he just wants to become rich. I've got no intention of that. I'm being honest. I'm a CEO of a company. I've got no intention of taking the money and where do I go? This is my job. This is what I do, to produce meat and to sell the product. I've got no intention of doing some other radical and just take the money and disappear. I want to expand my business, and in world terms, I want to compete and export to more countries. That's our intention. So I don't know, maybe you've got questions that you want to ask me that I can explain a little bit better, but you are welcome. And I just really want to thank each and every one of you for the opportunity that you're giving me to speak and as part of my presentation to you. Thank you from Beefmaster.
Honorable members, because he was the first to come, if you have any clarity-seeking questions before I allow those who came late to speak, I will take your hands if you have any clarities before Honorable Space, who is moving the mic.
Thank you, Chair. No, mine is a simple one. I didn't, Chair, get the gentleman's name. I just know the company, but I didn't get the name.
My name is actually quite simple. It's low, like not high, but low. And my surname is Van Reenen. So it's Van Reenen, like, like the pass, yes. LW. LOUW, yes, that's correct.
Oh, I thought, sorry, my apologies. I thought the Chair wanted clarity questions. I have a question. I need to know, Mr. Van Reenen, how many people do you employ? And then you said that you compete not with farmers, but you compete with internationals. And then the issue around the infrastructure that you are providing yourselves. I suspect that you went to the municipality with proposals of what can be done in collaboration with them. That doesn't only come down on them only, but also on you. I would like to know the details of such, and if the municipality can't help you, was there any indication that there are other sources that could possibly help you through cooperation from the municipality? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson, Meneer Van Reenen. Okay, I am still Peggy Hadebe, and thank you so much for your presentation. We always encourage private-public partnerships and intergovernmental relations. And you seem like a person that is willing to assist, as a business person, to assist the municipality. I'd like to get a sense and understanding. Have you sent some of your proposal into the municipalities? You've indicated that you have already interacted with the newly appointed municipal manager. What has been the reception like, and what type of proposal have you tabled before the municipality for us to be able to make a follow-up so that we encourage that partnership, especially ensuring that there is a revenue generated by the municipality and those that are owing the municipality? What are some of the proposals that you think should be adopted by the municipality to ensure that those that are owing the money pay before resorting into the extreme disconnecting and cutting off services for those that are not paying the municipality? But what are some of the innovative and creative ways that you have as a business people with wealth of experience locally and internationally that could assist this municipality? Thank you.
I will allow you to respond. In fact, Honorable Space was correct. I wanted just questions for clarity, because we must still allow other stakeholders to, but he must respond because he came early, so that if he wants, he said he's CEO, if he wants to leave, yeah, he should be a businessman. Over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. The first question that you asked is a very relevant question, and we as a group of companies, obviously we've got different sites, but the main site that we have here in Kimberley employs 700 people. So that is one, on employment basis, one of the biggest companies that employs the most people in the municipality. And that doesn't make me any more important than any other small business, but it does give you some sense of responsibility towards a large, popular base. So the point is that we've got many interventions that we do. We've got soup kitchen for people that don't have jobs. We support a lot of old age homes, we support creches, we support churches, we support any grouping that you can think of that does humanitarian work in the municipality and other areas as well, but here specifically for the municipality, there's a lot of support that we give. Because we are a food company, it makes it a bit easier for us to be able to obviously supply food. So that's some of the interventions that we do. I'll answer both questions that you had, the other questions simultaneously, but before I do that, yes, so we've got competition locally. Obviously there's other companies like ours, many of them, and we compete against them on a one-to-one basis. But I just wanted to illustrate to you, if you change the environment, the economic environment in South Africa, it certainly influences us to some degree, but it's only really 50% of our business. The problem is the interventions comes from competing with international companies. And I can't compete against Brazil if they subsidize their beef meat into the Middle East. It's impossible for me to do that because it's not happening here with us. So if you make the process, the cost in South Africa too expensive, then it's too expensive possibly for all the competing companies in South Africa, but not for the likes of Brazil. So then my business will physically close down. That's what's going to happen. And what is happening now with the municipality, for instance, in Kimberley, because of the costs that are so much more expensive than other municipalities. And I've got real data because I've got different sites in the country. And I presented this to the municipality already in 2012, when initially they made an application to NERSA for a over 50% increase in their tariffs. Now I'm telling you, that was the start of businesses that didn't come to Kimberley and possibly started moving out. There's no growth in Kimberley with businesses. The growth that we've got here is possibly the hospitals, mainly state-based, and the university. But there's no new businesses that are opening in Kimberley. So that's the reason why I presented that as we compete against international companies. Then I've got an example. We went to the municipality, and this was purely based on a transaction that we did with the municipality, and we tried to help. So, you read many things and you say, yes, but what was the real intention of this company that did this or that intervention? So we went with a presentation to the municipality to fix the only biggest sewage work in Kimberley, which is dysfunctional. Has been for just about 4 years now. The reason why we know that is because there's ecologically, there's a threat to a bird species in Kimberley that is obviously getting its water from the sewage works. So, and whenever there's one other news reporter, like one of these magazine programs and television, and they take pictures of red sewage water, then they blame us, because that's now our blood or whatever. So we wanted to prevent a PR problem against our business, because the sewage works is not functional. And we went in, we made a deal with the municipality that was very good. And by the way, the new municipal manager is excellent. I mean, I really enjoy working with him. But the problem is still the problem. When we went in and we made the deal, we gave all the labor, we gave all the equipment, everything that we had to do. The only thing that we couldn't do is to buy physical products that we'll need to fix the sewage works. We had a 3-phase system. Phase 1 was complete, was working, and they didn't pay, the municipality didn't pay for chlorine, for normal stuff to get the process going, for electrical motors or whatever. They had to buy the parts that we then had to install to get the process going. We then went and we bought the parts on their behalf, and they didn't pay us back. And the reason for that is because they don't have the money. So it's the same problem. If your debtors aren't paying you, how will you be able to run your business? And that's their problem, is that the issue really is a financial problem. If you ask me what can be done, I think what the municipality needs is a strong committee that will run the finances. To hand it over to the officials in the municipality without any backing, nobody will be able to do. You can have the biggest, cleverest audit company in the world. If they don't have money coming into the municipality, how will they be able to do it? So I'm talking, the new municipal manager is excellent, but he's got constraints. And his constraints is that his hands are tied behind his back. And I'm pleading with you, please try to do something about it. Because these people won't be able to fix whatever is needed to be fixed if they don't get that intervention from you.
No, you have answered them. I think we must now acknowledge other stakeholders who have arrived. I'm still not going to give you time. How much time would you speak? But my training tells me that if you want to talk sense, you cannot exceed 15 minutes. Anything beyond that might be repetition. So that would just be a guide. If you speak, it is short, it's fine. But when you exceed 15 minutes, we would be looking at you and checking if you are not repeating yourself and whatever. So the stakeholders that I'm told are here now is the community members. They would be represented by Philip Foster, Francis Bart, Business Forum, would be represented by Lesego Maris, and Ward 4, Kibanye Mweng. There's always an issue with the ward. You always want to know who is speaking now for the ward. It must not be a ward committee, not a ward councillor, but possible, because we are not many, who might listen to a community member there. Then the next one, it says Northern Cape Chamber of Commerce. What is this? Industry. Sharon Stein. Those would be the people. I will take them in that order, with that guide that I've indicated. Can we allow Philip Foster? Yes. You introduce yourself properly, then get into your issues. Before you start, I'm told they want to change to generator. 1 minute, you can just wait for them to indicate. The system is ready, Mr. Foster. Over to you.
Thank you very much. I'm Philip Foster, community member from Ward 23 in Kimberley. I used to be a councillor way back, so I've got some issues and some ideas on how we can fix some of the problems that we've got. But I don't know whether the political will is there to fix it. That, I think, is a main problem at this stage. As far as Mr. Mariana's problems are concerned with the sewage, I'm under correction, but I think so about 10 years ago, we spent 145 million rand in fixing the sewage plant. Since it has been fixed, or upgraded, should I rather say, I doubted very much if there was 2 years that it was actually functioning. And the main problem was not because all the instrumentation and pumps and things were not there. The main problem was, it was a personnel problem. They employed a lady, and the people at the site didn't like the fact that they employed the lady. According to them, she didn't have the qualifications, or she wasn't the right person, or there was jealousy. I don't know what it was. But in the meantime, cables have been stolen, pumps have been stolen, and it was just totally, completely dysfunctional. Now, a municipality this size should roundabout have 1,500 employees. There's a guesstimate. Obviously, it all depends on the functions and responsibilities. But we sit with around about 2,500 the last time I counted. So we just got about 40% too many employees. So we have become a job bureau where we employ people just for the mere fact of giving a salary. And that, unfortunately, I think, is the problem with most of the municipalities, where you've got incompetent people not doing anything, and they sit around and being paid. I mean, if you've got a person that's supposed to be working, lying on the lawn, and you ask him, why aren't you working? And he says, it's got nothing to do with you. I will lie around if I want to. I mean, that tells you, plus minus, what the action or what the competency is as far as control is concerned, competency in terms of management. That should never happen. Where you get a team of people that should go out and fix water leaks, they're a team of 5. If one of that team members are not available, it's called in sick or whatever the case might be, then the rest of the team refuse to go and work because they don't want to work while the other guy's not working. I mean, that is the type of problem that you have got over here. As far as the lack of money is concerned, we, at the moment, the 2,500 or odd, maybe a bit less these days, 2,200, I don't know, or even more, is costing us, and I'm talking 2 years back now, in the vicinity of 800 million rand a year. Water and electricity was also around 800 million rand. So out of a budget of 2.2 billion, 1.6 actually went straight to costs, straight costs in terms of buying bulk and paying salaries. So what is left is minimal to do actually what you need to do. Now, we do have a big deficit in terms of people not paying, but those are mainly people that cannot pay. But now what they do is, the municipality, to get money, they actually pick on the businesses per se. The ones that they should protect are the ones that they're actually going for. So what happens in the end is business just leave. There is no reason for them to continue because they get no joy out of municipality. As far as Beefmaster was concerned, I'm under correction. Unfortunately, I thought Blow would actually be still here. But 4 or 5 years ago, they had a deal with the municipality. For 5 million rand, they were going to invest in fixing. Now, for the first time, fixing the sewage plant, that is. Now, for the first time, I hear the reasons why not. Up to this day, That agreement has never been before council. As a matter of fact, we were trying to find out exactly what the deals were and how it worked. As far as I'm concerned, and I think as far as the law is concerned, the deals that they've made were illegal. You first need to pay and then you can pay back, but you cannot trade off. There cannot be any bartering that happens. And that's exactly what happened. But businesses are desperate to be able to continue with their business, to survive in this town. And the unfortunate thing is that with mismanagement of monies, as it is at the moment, instead of spending between 8 and 10% in maintenance, I doubt that we actually reach 2% or 1%. And this is excluding contractors. I mean, we pay 800 million rand for local workers. That is excluding contractors. I know 2020, the cost to labor was 37% or something, but the collection rate was 71%. Now, if you recalculate that, your cost in labor actually goes up to 50%, or almost 50%. So the presentation in terms of what the actual costs is or are within the different areas is totally and completely misguided as such. And then on top of that, you need to add contract workers, because that also becomes labor, because that's something that the current municipality, the labor themselves, cannot do. So that is the main, as far as I'm concerned, the main issues why we do have a lack of money. It is mismanagement, total and complete mismanagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Members have been taking notes. We now, in fact, I wanted to ask, but Chairperson don't normally have to ask. You kept on saying we. Now, I was looking at this we. Now, when I look at it, you say community members, okay. So that we was talking to community, okay. We now call on Francis Bart Business Forum, Lesego Maris.
Good morning, all. My name is Lesego, my surname is Maris. I'm the chairperson of a forum called Francis Bart Business Forum. Francis Bart Business Forum is a forum that is under the district of Francis Bart, and under that district you get 4 local municipalities, which is Sol Plaatjie, Dikgatlong, Magareng, and Phokwane. There is where our constituency is. Thank you for the opportunity from the committee sent by Parliament. The challenge that we have in municipalities and government is the issue of proper lack of public participation and community involvement. There's a serious lack in terms of that system. Now, a municipality to stand must be able to exhaust all its avenues to create revenue. When you go to Sol Plaatjie municipality, people hear, hey, 2.2 billion. They think that 2.2 billion is just money that comes. No. It's money that the municipality should generate through its systems. Why I'm raising this issue? One, when you look at township economy, we are from COVID and there was a fund for tuck shops. In Khalishewe, there are not even 3 tuck shops that are owned by South Africans. So that COVID fund and relief could not be accessed. Now the question to the municipality is, how do you find in your municipality 1 street having 10 tuck shops that are foreign owned? How does it happen? So where are the locals supposed to participate? And tomorrow we'll be told that we are racist, we are xenophobic and all other things. But I think it's just a fair question to ask. And we should look into the office that deals with these foreign tuck shops, because for me it's very strange that something would happen like this. And secondly, we've got peace officers appointed. Now, if the tuck shop is South African owned, then it means that person has got a responsibility to pay the municipality. So there will be a circulation of money, because we don't know where these foreign owned tuck shops are taking their money to. We don't know where that money is going to. Secondly, if, this is disheartening. We are from a shutdown a couple of years back. For the shutdown to happen, there was a genuine cause where the electricity tariff, Sol Plaatjie is one of the municipalities, if not the highest, or the highest electricity tariff. Now, you've got a population that is unemployed. You've got households that are literally living out of pension and child grants. And then you have such a high electricity tariff. Now, those things are bound to cause instability. Because as a forum, our only engagement with the MM was once, and he has since promised to call us. He never called us back. Now, we want to go to the municipality because we've got our issues. But the problem is that the shutdown has taught us that if we go to the municipality with anarchy, we are taking the municipality 2 or 3 years back. Now, I don't know what to say to Parliament on this, but we need to find a way whereby our revenue stays in place. If you can look at the budget and allocation of our municipality for procurement, and how much of that money goes to Sandton, to Limpopo, to Bloemfontein. Because that is one thing also that would have assisted if local business were given preference by the municipality to get business, so that we can pay our rates and taxes. But let us look at the percentage of the money that is leaving. I see the chairperson of MPEC is also here. Maybe he can also clarify us in terms of even if he could just give us a percentage of how much money leaves the province from the budget of the municipality for procurement. Now, we would love to come up with solutions and also engage the municipality, but it's difficult if you've got a municipality that does not have a process of public participation and community involvement. It's difficult. You'll go around having an appointment, you'll be frustrated, you'll go there and block the doors and people will not pay rent. You'll be a problem on a problem. So those are the issues that are actually bedeviling us. We've got a LED component in the municipality, but we have no systems, we have no policy that ring-fences certain percentage. We are not saying that people from other provinces cannot do business here. We are not saying it. But we are saying it, let us look at the percentage and are we saying that we do not have that capacity to do anything as locals within business? So the chairperson of Impact, I know is a very clued up guy, so I don't think it would be a struggle for him to be able to just share with Parliament to say how much of business actually leaves our municipality. So it would give an indication why probably we cannot come to the 2.2 billion Because if some or most of the money went to local businesses, it means that the money was going to go to the municipality and revenue was going to be generated. Thank you.
The next stakeholder would be Ward 4, Kibanye Mueng.
Morning. Okay. My name is Kibonye Moeng. I'm from Ward 4, Sol Plaatjie location. My complaint is suggests that I've applied for RDP house from 2000 up until now. I've never received it. And I've applied when my son was doing grade 1. Now he's matriculated today, 21. Yet I'm still struggling to get a house. I'm wondering why. And I've made one so many times to the housing while Mr. Alvin Waters was still MEC of housing. Now that he's in Parliament, I don't know how it's going on until now. But my challenge is that I don't know what should I do, or am I just because of an EFF member, whatever. But I went so many times and I'm worried. I don't have an address. I'm trying to apply for agriculture, cooperative to do something. I don't have address. That's my problem. So am I going to die in people's others' address? That's all I can say. I'm so worried. I just want to know when I'll be able to have my own property, to get my own address.
Thank you very much. Ward 4. The last would be Northern Cape Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Sharon Stein.
Good morning. Thank you very, very much. I'm Sharon Stein, and I'm the CEO of the Northern Cape Chambers of Commerce and Industry. I would like to thank all of you for being here today and for letting us express our distress, our concerns regarding the Sol Plaatjie municipality. I just want to quickly just give a briefing. NOCI, as the Northern Cape Chambers of Commerce and Industry, is affiliated to SACI, which is South African Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and to BUSA, and to SBI, and to NEDLAC. As NOCI, we are a business organization, and we represent businesses in Kimberley. For business in Kimberley, we are sitting in dire straits. We are not getting any support from municipality. The service delivery from Sol Plaatjie municipality is non-existent. There is no service delivery. Business pays rates and taxes. Certain of them do, certain of them don't, which is, I feel there the municipality needs to take them on. But when we talk service delivery, it is, as I say, totally non-existent. 3 or 4 of the speakers beforehand, I would like to support them on tenders for local businesses. Sol Plaatjie does not support local. Very few. I can say between 80 and 90% of tenders go out of our province. Our province is Northern Cape. We are Kimberley. We are the capital of this province. Yet we get no support. Our unemployment rate in the Northern Cape is, I think we're sitting on now, 36, 37%, if I'm correct, which is ridiculous. We have well-educated business people who just don't have business because their tenders are not being given to them. It gets given to outside companies who then come in, and then the local businesses have to then be seen as second or third. You know what, we're not second or third. We're the provincial chamber. We are the provincial province. So we should not be seen as second and third. Then I would also like to say a lot of the tenders that do come in from companies out of town basically are given to friends of Sol Plaatjie employees. And it's fact, it's been known. So that is also, it is totally, and I would like to request that that gets taken up and seen. How are tenders actually done? Should a tender, if it is not valid, it should then be queried. And we as a chamber are entitled to query those tenders and find out why they are not being given and who it is being given to and why it has not been given to the correct tender or applicant. Then when I'm talking on service delivery, I want to quickly just go basically potholes, sewage, water, the whole of the city. I'm sure if you all came into Kimberley today, you saw what it looked like. I don't know if you flew in or if you drove in. Doesn't matter which way you came in, either way it's disgusting. There's nothing, the felt, the potholes, whether you drive an SUV or whether you drive a normal car, you can't drive. Yesterday I came from the airport and there was one terrible accident. Two people I think were almost killed there, or not killed, I don't know if they were. But the potholes are a disgrace. What a question is, it's coming from business as well. There is quite a bit of money we hear that has been given to the Sol Plaatjie municipality for water and sewage. Is that money going to be given for the correct usage? We would like, as a business chamber, an explanation from the Sol Plaatjie to tell us how it's going to be used and is it going to be used correctly. Because the potholes that are being closed at the moment, if you go and have a look, they're not being done properly. It'll be closed and then you can ride on that road in 2 weeks' time and that pothole is back again. So basically what they're doing is they're closing the potholes, they're not being properly done. So this is already telling us it is not a qualified company. The tar is not correct. Then some of them have got cement, some of them have just got whatever. Okay, the pump station at Riverton, with our water shutdowns, we have nightly shutdowns. Kimberley is requesting, why are we having nightly shutdowns? We are having so much rain and yet we're having nightly water shutdowns. Question has been asked. There is no incentives for any business to come to Kimberley. Anybody that wants to come and invest in Kimberley will not come because there is not an incentive. What are we offering? We, as the capital of the Northern Cape, want to bring business to Kimberley. What are we offering them? Potholes, no water, the highest electricity in the country. It was stated here somewhere, it's fact. We do have the highest electricity. Rates and taxes, there's, as I say, no bylaws do not exist in Kimberley. The suggestion came in by the gentleman in the back there on the LED. We have a very good representative at LED, but LED is non-existent. We as business have also been asking for the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years almost, can we have discussions with business, with the public, on what is happening? We need to have one-on-ones like we're sitting today. We need to have almost bi-monthly one-on-ones with the Sol Plaatjie. Business needs to talk to Sol Plaatjie. Then lastly, I want to just say, I can talk to you guys for, the telephone system at Sol Plaatjie Municipality. Please, if that can get taken up. You can't phone there. You sit and you wait. I did it the other day, 45 minutes. Just you put on hold, you put on hold, you put on hold. Now you want to report a pothole or water or whatever, you can't get through. This has been discussed with the MM, it's been discussed with the new, with the mayor. As a chamber, we are supposed to work directly with the Sol Plaatjie municipality. We have 1 or 2 meetings, but I must also say as business, we really, really battle to get in to have those meetings. I would like to request, if I may, as a chamber, as the CEO of the chamber and as business, I'm representing over 400 businesses. That is from corporates to small businesses to individuals. So we are open to anybody who wants to belong to a chamber. We are not we're not apolitical. Anybody can belong to a chamber. I would like to request that through the chamber, that Parliament please help us to make Kimberley the place that it used to be and to get involved with our Sol Plaatjie and support. We as business are prepared to take hands with the municipality, and this is what we have asked on various occasions. We don't want to fight. That's not what it's about. We don't want to fight. We want to sit around the table and say, okay, this business is prepared to assist you here. This business can help you here. We can help. That is what we are requesting, and I would like to take that forward, please, as very strong. Can we please get assistance on that one. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. For now, that concludes the inputs by the different stakeholders. The normal process for Parliament would be for members now to engage with your inputs. They might be asking questions. I'll point all of them. Don't mind. I'll take each one. They will ask questions from anyone. If there's anything they would want to clarify, because they are also public representatives, by the way. Anything they would like to clarify, we are the ones who make laws. We expect the executive to execute the laws. So the person who makes the law, if you ask a question which can be responded in terms of the law, they are still free to do that. But I'll take their hands. It's 1, 2, 3. What is it? I assumed that as well you might be asking questions. I'm not saying you must respond first, so that the mayor hears everybody. You are custodians of the law. It's number, I said 1, 2, 3 honorable speakers, 4 honorable Dikeleti. 5, Honorable Mpumza. Let's follow that order.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you to the presenters. Let me welcome all the presenters that have been presented here. Chair, my question will be in the community forum led by Mr. Phillips Foster. Chairperson, Mr. Philip Foster says he is the former councillor in this ward. He's the leader of the community in this ward. And they have a sewage problem, which is an old system. My chairperson, my question is that, as a former councillor, what have you done to make sure that the old system is taken away so that the storage, it won't be a problem to your ward? Another question, Chair. He says they put a lady there. I don't know whether the lady was they put the lady to be a councillor or a tenderpreneur. And the people were complaining. Now, Chair, there was a stolen pipeline in the middle of the space. So now, is the pipeline stolen because they put the lady there, or is because of the crime in the area? Another question, Chair, to Mr. Phillips. You see, where I come from, Chairperson, we used to have too much crime. But after that, because we saw that when we call the police to find the problem of that, there is no vehicle, there is no staff, all the sorts of things, problem. We form our community forum, which is CPF and patrollers, to patrol ourselves, to make sure that we reduce the crime. My question is that did this community have those forum, CPF or patrollers? If yes, why the pipes were stolen? Because they're supposed to defend the pipe. The pipe were there to help them about the sewage problem. Despite the complaining of the people about the lady, the fact of the matter is that the pipe were there to help all the community, not about individual. And Chairperson, forums are all over the country to defend the community. I want to ask why, if they saw that there is a problem of crime, they did not form their forum to defend their properties. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson. I want to say to the mayor and the municipal manager, if your debtors don't pay you, I do have sympathy, then it's impossible for you to pay your own debts, because money must come in for you to be able to do anything. But I want to know which revenue enhancement strategies have you employed in the past financial year? And I want to know who's your biggest government debtor? Because you've got to start with government departments owing you huge amounts of money, and then those that can pay, but who doesn't pay. And I want to know, how have you restructured your debt recovery plan to allow new avenues and new ways to recoup monies owed to you? Then regarding Mr. Philip Foster's question, or his input, I want to know, how will you reduce and address your currently highly inflated salary bill? And then to the Francis Bart Forum, regarding their input, I want to know about, in a nutshell, your bylaws in terms of tuck shops and how local business are assisted. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I want to start with the speaker. All three of these stakeholders basically have one thing in common, and they've all actually said that they would like to work with the municipality. They want to take hands with the municipality. Now, if that is given to you, you must take it with both hands. And I'm going to again implore on the speaker, like yesterday, that you really take this to heart. That as a custodian of public participation, that you maybe establish a stakeholders forum that meets bi-monthly with a structured agenda, with a time frame. So it doesn't become talks of talks. If it's an hour meeting, items gets handed in before the time so that you know what is going to be discussed and people are coming prepared and the relevant people attend this. And that you then have action minutes. It's simple things that I'm telling you, but it's things that needs to be done in order for you to progress. I want to also ask that the mayor and the speaker and the municipal manager and the rest of the mayoral committee actually for the next 3 to 6 months just focus on 3 things. There's too many things happening in your municipality that's not going right. So you want to actually naturally just want to fix everything. But if there's 3 things that you focus on, is getting your data, your systems correct. Like I mentioned yesterday, your indigent systems or your indigent register is not working for you because it's not correct, the data is incorrect. If you can get that right, if you can get your debt collection right. And then my pet project, revenue enhancement. You are sitting with people that are saying to you, we want to take hands. You actually have something that is presented to you that can actually turn around your situation. If you focus on that in the next few months, you will be able to see the results of that. And you work with the people who have offered their help and just make sure that there's very clear agreements in place of what is expected from each party that is going to be part of that. From the township, the gentleman that spoke about the township economy, I want to understand, are you saying that the municipality is funding tuck shops of foreigners or tuck shops? Is that what I heard? Is that correct? No. Because that is what it sounded to us, that you are wanting to know how, you wanted to know how the municipality can fund tuck shops. I'm not going to enter into that. That is an issue that I'm not entering into. And then, Ms. Stein, you've mentioned, and I like your approach towards what you wanted to, get across. It is something of, we want to help. Yes, there are challenges. Let us take hands. The issue of potholes have been overwhelming. We've experienced it. But we heard of an amount that was allocated for potholes that never was used towards potholes. I even last night heard something about this monies and how it was spent. And it was raising my hair to hear that. I really want to know, why is it that the telephone system is not working from the municipality side? Because that in itself is obviously causing the problems that you have and the challenges that you're experiencing. Mr. Foster, as a former councillor, you have raised issues that we've raised yesterday around the bloated staff complement, about the fact that Kimberley is an expensive city and it does have the highest rate in terms of electricity. So I'm not going to comment on that. It's points that we are well aware of. We've expressed ourselves on it, and we are awaiting responses from the municipality, not only today, but in the months and years to come. For now, thank you, Chair. That is all.
Thank you. It's now Honorable, no, you can speak. It was Honorable Direko.
Oh, okay, Chair. No, I'm partly covered by my colleagues on the issues they have raised. It's just that, Chair, I thought you were going to allow the municipality to respond first, but nevertheless, you're quite correct to say that we also have to pose some questions to them. Listening to stakeholders, let me start by saying that, Chair, I agree with you that next time, I think we must be much involved on the invitation of the stakeholders. You know, it's very sad that you wake up early in the morning, you think that you are going to meet with different stakeholders. From Kimberley, only 3 come. So it also tells you that there's a problem there. I think your office next time must ensure that before we come, before we prepare to meet stakeholders, we must verify them. We must know that how many are coming, what are the problems, will they be invited in time, and so on and so on. It can't be that the whole parliament come to meet stakeholders, only 3 comes and meet with the parliament, because it's part of our work. That is the one thing. The one thing that I want to check here from the municipality, especially from the speaker, because I think it's Mr. Philip who said, unfortunately, there are no public participation meetings that are called from the office. Can we be finished with the list and time of meetings and date as the committee, so we can know that there is an interaction between the community and the Speaker's office? It can't be that people must wait for the committee from Parliament to come and air their frustration. Yesterday, Chair, we met with the municipality. They done the presentation. They have assured us. I think the MM even said that because there was in their presentation of the provincial COGTA, there was something that was said in that presentation that there is a beef between the community and the municipality. But the MM, when he was responding, he said there's no such thing. Recently, there were meetings that were called in all 33 wards of Kimberley, whereby the attendance were very high. So there is a participation from the community with the municipality. But now we are getting a new information from you, saying that there is no public participation between the municipality. So for us as a committee members, we must get the list and the date and time with the public participation of the municipality with the community in order to check if indeed there is that engagement between the community and the municipality. Because some of the things that are raised here, they could have been easily clarified in those meetings that are taking place, whether at a ward level or at a community level. So it also goes as well to answer the concern from my sister here, who even said that she is going to die while using other people's address, meaning that she has lost hope that she will get a house in her lifetime. So those are the things that we need to be clarified as well as the committee. How does the list of people who want to apply for houses, how is the priority being done? How is the community updated in terms of the beneficiaries of the housing? It goes to all other things that are provided by the municipality, including the one that was raised by my brother there in terms of the economy, the local economy, whereby he is saying that there is no chance that they're given as people who are supposed to get a priority in the local municipality of Kimberley. So those are the things that the municipality must come clear in order for us to able to intervene. What is the next step after we get from the municipality? As I'm saying that yesterday they done the presentation, they took us through, and then now it's time to balance what they've told us yesterday with the stakeholders who are here, who are talking with us as members of parliament. And from there, as the committee will have a clear picture, what exactly is happening in Kimberley. Because as the chair was also alluding to the fact earlier on that the speaker is the one who's supposed to ensure that the municipality is also in touch with the people on the ground. All these things that you are raising about the spillage, it was also covered in their presentation yesterday. They told us that those are the things of the past, things are improving, but we are saying that no, it's the other way around. So, Chairperson, I'm saying that let us hear from them after we receive their presentation, and then as a committee will be clear, and then we are going to intervene. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Dirego.
Thank you, Chair. Oh, thank you, Chair. Chair, listening to the stakeholder has just reminded me that building the local economic development in our areas, it requires all the relevant stakeholders to work together. And those stakeholders mainly are government, private sector, and communities. Looking at the current state of our economy, we really need to work as a collective and support one another. And on the side of government, they must also play their part and make sure that they build a business user-friendly environment where the business will be able to operate in their particular space. And what I've also observed is that in our country, there are various business opportunities. However, the cost of doing business in our country is also very high due to your crime, due to your service delivery, due to our current economic state, and also the issue of spatial planning. Hence, all the relevant stakeholders need to be part of this broader picture that we have. Listening to the stakeholders, one of the stakeholders raised a concern about the high rates of businesses in the municipality, where they indicated that when they were comparing their rates and taxes with other areas, they realize that theirs is very high. So I would also want to check with the municipality, what are the possibility of reviewing your rates, noting the current state of our economy, noting the issue of COVID that has affected our businesses. Is there any possibility of reviewing your current rates as the municipality so that we can also assist our businesses to pick up from the issue of COVID that we've just come from as the country? And also, secondly, there was a concern about the businesses not being awarded work in the municipality, the local businesses. South Africa is a democratic country, and we have policies and procedures in place, including in the municipalities. We have our supply chain processes that are taking place. However, I cannot come here and say the municipality must only award work to the local people only. But my advice would be, and plea to the municipality will be that, can't you consider building capacity within your local areas and supporting your local businesses? Not fiddling with the supply chain processes, but can't you please find a way that even when you award any tenders, can't you be able to consider a possibility that there should be a sizable number of the local people who are also part of whatever that you are awarding? But I'm not saying disturb the supply chain processes, but I'm saying follow the process, and in the process of following those particular procedures and processes within the government, you must also consider the local people. Because it can't be that you spend half of your budget somewhere else. You also need to spend it here in your municipality, where you know that after awarding this particular person, will also be using that particular money in your municipality as part of increasing your revenue. So we are not saying do the wrong thing. We are saying follow the proper supply chain processes which are transparent. But while following those processes, also build capacity within your municipality so that you can also have people within your municipality who will be able to do the work. That's my submission, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Mpumza.
Thank you, Chairperson. Both Mr. Lo van Reenen and Mr. Philip Foster, in their presentation, they are indicating that there is a huge leak in the economy of as well as of that of the province, because I assume that this is the capital city. Chair, first I would like to get some clarity from Mr. Philip Foster. In his presentation, he's indicating that there was a lady who was employed at the sewer works. Was he saying that this lady didn't have appropriate qualifications for that particular task? Should we be cleared on that? If that is the case, why would the municipality employ somebody who doesn't have appropriate qualifications? And he further indicated that whether was this lead or any other person, when he would not like to go to work, all other employees would actually down the tools. What has been this? Why was this situation allowed by the municipality? Together with the business, why were they allowing this? Let's leave the issue of bloated, I think it has been raised. of bloated staff employees in the switch works. The gentleman from the Francis Bart Business Forum, he was saying that procurement funds are going to Sentin and Mangaungu. Can you explain what you are saying about this? What is that? Also, there was this that 80 to 90% of the tenders, and those tenders in this municipality are intended to build the economy of this particular municipality. Say that 80 to 90 tenders, they go out, they fizzle out of this area. Why is it that so? Why would you have your procurement policies externally orientated, benefiting a well-established city of Johannesburg? Why do you allow that situation? Because those tenders and that budget is meant to build the economy of this city. Why should it be going out? Because it's only on matters where a special skill is wanted but is not existing here that will have those funds being tenders given out to outside companies. So you mean that companies within Sol Plaatjie Municipality, they are grade 2 or 1 companies, they are not moving up. So you don't have established skilled companies here that they could actually perform work within this municipality. This was an allegation from the presentation that is indicated to us. The other one, Speaker, public participation, absence of bylaws. It's alleged that there are no bylaws here. Of course, that point raised by Mr. I didn't write your name, sir, sorry. From the Francis Bart, is saying that in terms of your township economy, small businesses in the township are run by foreigners. Why? There are no bylaws. Why would it be outside people? And what is mad, the law in this country is saying only 30% of employment goes to foreigners on specialized skills that are not existing in the country. So 70% of work should be given to people of this country. Then you get people running a spaza shop selling cigarettes. He's a foreigner. Is that a specialized skill? When you employ that particular person and running that business in your own country. So where are the bylaws of this city that are looking at building the economy of this city and protecting the economy of this country, so that this particular city, so that there is no leak? So that, because you cannot grow this city without bylaws ensuring that they are meant to build, protect businesses here. They are indicating that some businesses, yes, they said the dysfunctional system, businesses are running out. They are leaving the city. Where are your bylaws that are intended to ensure that they are attracting businesses? Where are they? Attracting your businesses and retaining businesses in the city. Where are they?
I'm sure the approach the debate about whether we should, after the presentations, allowed the municipality to respond. It does make sense, but equally from here now, the questions for clarity are directed back to, so one would want to manage that so that we don't talk about the municipality when it is here. I'm sure they were also taking notes from these clarities. They were generally, these are your, I think in town would call them ratepayers. It's citizens of this place. So whatever issues they raise, you would find a way to clarify, even if you clarify us here, clarify them and help us to respond to them. But I think from this side, what I was looking for was more to talk about policy and the laws to guide those who are raising issues to say this is what we expect. But like I'm saying, balancing it, whether I should have started with the municipality, I want to hand over to yourself, Mayor. You decide how you share the responses and the team. That does not exclude officials from the province and from DCOC. I'll still come back to yourselves as well, because we need to clarify some of these issues. The gentleman who was the first one to speak, he was speaking almost like saying, you people up there, you are not assisting the municipality. So hence I'm preparing you so that you don't think it's only the municipality. Over to you, Mayor.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. Once more, greetings to everyone who is here. Chair, I would like to start responding to the issue of electricity within our city. I'm sure, Chair, if we have... I'm sure, Chair, if you have seen our budget of last year, you would agree with me to say that Sol Plaatjie is the only municipality in the country that managed to reduce the tariffs on electricity. Because last year we had a very long debate within our chambers whereby we would not find each other with regards to the tariffs of electricity. Instead of a 7.5 increase within the tariffs, we opted for a 4.5 increase because we took into considerations that our businesses have been having engagements with us as a municipality, finding solutions as to how can we assist them. Now, in turn, that had a knock on our budget of 20 million that we had to recover, because we said that we are going to recover it because we will be putting measures in place to make sure that we look at our electricity rate as to how is it flowing. We should make sure that we do not lose on electricity. Therefore, we went for the 4.5 tariff hike within the municipality. So I want us to agree here to say that Sol Plaatjie is the only municipality in the country that did not increase tariffs on electricity last year. And also in water, Sol Plaatjie is the only municipality that did not increase its tariffs within the water structure. So that was just the one that I wanted to clarify, Chair. And then the other issue, it was around the issue of Beefmaster as to a council decision which was not taken, but they managed to do work for the institution without a council decision. The item went to council last year. When the item came to council, we even asked ourselves as to work has already been done, but the item is only coming now to council. So we said we need to investigate the issue because we are not appraised as to how did it happen, how can something happen without a council decision, because anything that happens within the institution, they should go through council, because we need to account as to how did it happen and why it happened like that. So the matter is before impact. They will also give us a report on the issue of Beefmaster. And then there was a question raised with regards to the home veil treatment plant. The home veil treatment plant was not operational for the past 4 years. We managed to make home veil treatment plant operational, and I'm sure maybe today on our site visits, we would see that work has been done in the home veil treatment plant. And there was a comment made by one of our colleagues, Mr. Philip Foster, to say there is one lady at home veil treatment plant who was employed but could not do the job. That in itself, it can't be correct, because once we advertise and employ people, we verify and make sure that the people that are employed meet the required standards for them to operate the machines, because it is a very high sensitive place whereby you need to have the skills, expertise that should be able to work there, because there you can't just have anyone who should be working there. You must have the required skill, the required qualification for you to be able to work within that area. Now, that area, it's an area which has a high serious problem of cable theft. So our pump stations were regularly vandalized, which led to a collapse within the home veil treatment plant. But as we speak today, we will see that improvement has happened, security has been installed. We won't see the problem that we've been having of cable theft within the past. And then there was also a comment made with regards to too many employees who do not have an impact within the institution. We spoke around that issue yesterday when we were at the municipality, that we are going to review our organogram and we are going to lay off people who are not making an impact within the institution, because we are operating on a bloated work staff, which is causing a strain on the municipality. And then the other issue that was raised, it was with regards to issue of tenders around the city, whereby locals are not receiving opportunities within our city, and that there are many tuck shops within one area. Now, basically what's happening is that we are giving everyone an opportunity within the Sol Plaatjie jurisdiction. One of the examples that I would like to make mention of is with regards to a program that was held within the Sol Plaatjie jurisdiction in 2021, whereby all areas around the city were patched, pothole patched. Now, what happened is that all those projects were given to locals. No one from outside was paving a pothole by that time. In 2021, it was given to locals to manage and run the program. Now, basically, what we are having in the institution with regards to potholes, we are having 6 teams. We're having 6 internal teams within the institution that are fixing potholes. And how do they fix these potholes? They fix them through clusters. We cluster them, and then they go to an area, and then they fix those potholes. But maybe, unfortunately, in some areas, they have not yet arrived. But we would like to assure everyone here that we will close each and every pothole that we have within our city, because most of our budget went to the maintenance of roads and stormwater problems that are currently happening. But also we must appreciate the fact that the Northern Cape has been having many rains throughout the year, since last year. We had uncontrolled rains which we never had within our city, and some of the problems could have been caused by many rains that we were having within the city that led to many potholes that we are currently having, but we have a daily maintenance of potholes within the city, whereby teams are working every day around the city to ensure that they are closing our potholes. And then there was an issue raised with regards to peace officers. We are having peace officers who are making sure that all these dark shops are complying with legislations of the institution. Because it can't be that we are running an institution without bylaws. And I want to differ to say that our institution have got bylaws which are protecting our locals within the city. Because in Sol Plaatjie Municipality, you can't just wake up and open a tuck shop. You first need to go through the municipality to gain the relevant approval for you to be operating as a business within the institution. And also, once you have the approvals, you will be paying your rates and taxes as a business people, not as an individual household person that will be renting a house at the location. But I want to concur with Noki that we've been having regular engagements with the institution. So it means that we are beefing up our engagements, and very soon we will be giving a response to what the issues that Noki has raised. Noki has recently had a meeting with the municipal manager and the officials from LED, if I'm not mistaken, Noki? You had? Yeah, so they will be giving you your feedback very soon, and we will assure that all the issues that you have raised are addressed within an amicable time, because you've been raising these issues with me, with the MM, and with the officials from the municipality. But on the issue of the nightly shutdowns, you would remember that we've been having serious heavy rainfalls which caused the Val and the Bloom gates to be overflowing. So we had problems at our Riverton pump station, whereby the turbidity of the water was very high, and it caused our water to have mud. So what we have done is that we had to shut down so that we should be able to be fixing in that process whilst we are sleeping at night. But in the morning, we would open up the water because we do not want our community members to drink contaminated water, which is full of mud. So during that process, we were cleaning our water to make sure that our community members are receiving clean and healthy water. And also the water levels at the reservoirs were very low. We would not want to risk a situation whereby we are going to have problems of supplying water to our communities. Therefore, we had to take internal controls and make sure that we avoid a situation whereby we won't be having water at all within our community members. Some of the issues which I did not address, Chair, I would like to give over to the Speaker and Ntate Resitole, the Director for Infrastructure, because they have also noted some of the issues that that I might have missed. They would also touch on them. And then I would also give over to the Chair of MPEG just to clarify on the issues that we have been raising, to say that how is it that only people from Bloemfontein are the ones that are receiving business within our city, but the Chair of MPEG will just give us a comprehensive summary as to what is happening and as to what is happening with regards to the procurement of tenders. Thank you very much, Chair.
Let me also just send my greetings to Parliament, to the stakeholders and the first citizen of Sol Plaatjie, the mayor, and I think we've got COGTA representatives here. I'm not going to be long, Chair, but let me first apologize for not...
Introduce yourself first.
I'm sorry, Chair. I'm Councillor Friki Banda, Councillor for Ward 32, as well as MPEG Chair. And let me also take this opportunity to apologize for not being there yesterday, Chair. As I've said, I'm a ward councillor. I had to deal with an issue of hooligans who wanted to transgress in a portion of land that COGTA is currently busy installing infrastructure, precisely because of the issues that our mother raised there, that she doesn't have a house and it's been long. So now if you don't protect that, I mean, I had to make a decision. in order to go there and safeguard that space, because we know in Sol Plaatjie we've got an issue of land grabs. So if you don't deal with it, you won't be able to remove people, because that's where the law comes in. Now, thanks, Chair. Let me go straight to the issue of tendering. In our last council meeting, we just submitted a new procurement policy, because Treasury does allow us to structure the procurement policy that will suit us. So I've got good news. I'm just happy that it was raised here. So I think we must put it to rest now, that with the new procurement policy, it does state there that local business should be given preference. And we also emphasize that your persons with disabilities, your women and youth must also be accommodated there. So you will see, if it's not on the website of Sol Plaatjie yet, I think I need to, through the mayor and the MM, or personally instruct the CFO that he must actually put it on the website of Sol Plaatjie. So it is there, it is clear. And the other good thing about the procurement policy is that it can be amended every year, because it is our prerogative to structure it in such a way. So we did structure it, and where we are lacking, we are willing to just take comments and then add on it. But it is there, it does talk about local business this time. So it is there, thank you, Chair. And then the second issue of Beef Master, let me just go to it. It's an issue that comes from 2012. And now as MPEC, we had to deal with a lot of issues, including this one of Beef Master. Now, when you are in-house and you call people, you summon people, sometimes people have got the reasons of running away. But it is going to be closed because it comes out long. I think MPEC has suggested we had a meeting on Monday, our MPEC meeting. There are some of the sensitive issues that we are going to ask for an forensic investigation into it. Because once it becomes difficult, you must take it outside to the law so that they must see and deal with it and then recommend to council, and then council will decide on it. So I think shortly that is what the mayor wanted me to speak on. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Chair, stakeholders, colleagues from COGTA. Good morning. I'm going to respond on public participation. We do have public participation. We started with our public participation in January last year for the IDP, where we were taking through our communities through our IDP. And then I requested that the ward councillors to make follow-ups on meetings in terms of now getting their issues, in terms of frustrations on service delivery. Then our next IDP review meetings were held in November up until January, where we were finalizing most of those 33 wards that didn't finalize theirs. So what I've encouraged the ward committees to do is to, when there are meetings within their areas, they should try and collect issues of service delivery, so that when I receive them as the speaker, then I escalate them to the different directorate. That is currently what we are currently to curb, to ensure that whatever issues communities are having, then we are able to manage those and give feedback. In terms of the ward councillors, they've got their own schedules where they meet communities. Like this week is their last week to meet communities to ensure that they give now feedback to say that what have been done this past 3 months and what is the follow-up now, because we're facing a term where we're supposed now to be have dealt with our budget. So they're gonna give now feedback. Thank you. In terms, I thought that Mayor Tetile, in terms of the bylaws, we've got our peace officers that are starting now to placed on the bylaws. Yes, they are not visible as much, but they are being placed around town so that people should know that what are the bylaws. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Good day, Chairperson, Honorable Portfolio Committee's Executive Mayor, Speaker, and the stakeholders. My issue will be on two. It will be on the Ward 4 issue. Since it's a private matter, Mama will meet.
You must introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry, Chair. I'm still the Chief Whip of Sol Plaatjie Municipality, as introduced yesterday and by the Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity, Chair. My issue will be on the Ward 4. Mama, what we'll do, since it's a sensitive matter, we'll meet one side. I've called in the Councillor Pupape, so that we discuss the issue of Mama, and I'm sure we will give a report to the committee before they leave today on the solution of the Mama, because it can't be that you don't have an address within Sol Plaatjie Municipality. The issue of Noki, I just want to remind Noki that I was sent by the Mayor to the AGM, and we've committed ourselves with regard to the program and the year program that they're having. We are working hand in hand with one of your partners, ICAPA, with the development and the social responsibility to the Greenpoint issue. So we can be rest assured that we are on par, as I've indicated by the Mayor, that there was a meeting between the MM, so we are hand in hand on that one. The establishment of the forum, Honorable Member, that one in itself, we are taking it up, and we're going to make sure that we have a regular engagement with our stakeholders. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, the honorable members of Parliament, the Office of the Mayor, Madam Speaker, the Chief Whip, councillors that are present, and the community members. My name is Petule Sitole, the Acting Director for Infrastructure. But before I speak about the infrastructure issues related to procurement, allow me, Chair, to speak about issues of LED, because as much as I'm acting now on the position of the Acting Director, I'm still responsible for local economic development. As a municipality, I know that the issues that were raised by Noki with regard to the non-availability of LED. Previously, we used to have what we call it LED forums. Now, these LED forums, we started having an issue because now the district decided to have their own LED forums. The province also decided to have their LED forums. In addition to that, Noki had structured meetings with then the municipal manager, and the LED formed part of the meeting that Noki was discussing the issues with the MM. So now you find that now, issues that are raised with MM, they need to be raised again at the LED forum. So already they are raised with the accounting officer, so it was a little bit difficult for us to repeat the same thing at the level of the LED forums with the Noki. That is one of the issues that now Noki was insisting that we still have to have the meeting, because most of the other things are related to the challenges that are infrastructure on its own, which is affecting the businesses. But if you raise the issues with the accounting officer that are affecting the businesses as in terms of infrastructure, then for us as official at the lower level to come and raise them again with us while it's supposed to be driven by the accounting officer, it was creating some confusions to us in that regard. The issues of township economy. We have established what we call it Northern Cape Mobile Laboratory in one of our incubator in the township called Haleshiwe SMME Village. Mobile Laboratory, it is an initiative that is
started by World Bank. It's also supported by our own National Department of Science and Technology, and provincially it is supported by the Department of Economic Development. The focus of the mobile laboratory application, World Bank took a decision that the SADC region need to start focusing on fourth industrial. One of the key issues it is what we are dealing with at the Northern Cape Mobile Laboratory application. We are focusing on applications development, coding, and robotics. We also assist our students at primary schools to come and expose themselves to some of these things that MLab is doing. Now, recently, we embarked on trying to establish a relationship with the Northern Cape High School, so that now students that were doing ITC at the high school also can start being exposed to the things that the mobile laboratory application it is offering. The initial funding that we got, which was 50% from science and technology, 50% from our provincial department, was 11.8 million. Now we just secured another 4 million for the next additional. And we also continue to assist students that were graduating from Sol Plaatjie University who have studied ITC, to give them a one-year program as part of their workplace experience, because normally companies will require people who are having an experience before they can hire them. In addition to that, in trying to deal with the issues of manufacturing, as we all know that the mining sector, it's no longer inexistent in Sol Plaatjie. We then established what we call it Northern Cape Innovation Forum, which it is chaired by Sol Plaatjie University. It was established through, again, a technology localizations implementation unit that is based in CISR in Pretoria. The focus of this particular initiative is to start looking at how best we can now start transferring the technology to our SMME, specific to issues that now requires technology transfer and commercializations of various products in that. We are still at the infant stage. It was launched by the Premier, I think, a year before or last year. But we are continually advocating science and technology out of the initiative. Again, on township economy, Sol Plaatjie Municipality had a tender where we went out for informal traders or the spazzers, where we then have a tender to deal with the containers that are going to be used at a shared economic infrastructure facilities for our informal traders. Now, the contractor that was appointed, which also is a local company, then assisted further Sol Plaatjie by acquiring additional 15 million, where the 15 million also is going to be used to develop the shared services at one of our township that is Rich, where we used to have a Rich incubator that was demolished during the unrest. And secondly, also to have another shared services facility for the Plantfontein communities. The drawings of all these initiatives are already being submitted to the municipality. We are at the stage where we are planning with the Ministry of Small Businesses to be able to launch the first one that Sol Plaatjie has already building. And in addition to that, we are not really immune in terms of the things that are happening around us in terms of LED. There was a call for social construction fund by IDC to establish what we call it digital hubs. We made an application, but when we made an application at Sol Plaatjie, we did not focus only on Sol Plaatjie. because when we made this application, we used the Northern Cape Innovation Forum and also the Northern Cape Mobile Laboratory. So in order to ensure that we have a footprint in all other 5 districts, so the application was made in line with the 5 districts in the province. Additionally to that, what we have secured through Alishiwi SMME Village, we have secured 10 million from the Department of Economic Development and Tourism, which is managed and administrated by them. The funds is focusing on to assist about 100 SMME, which will be allocated plus minus 100,000 each for equipments. So that is the fund, that is that. Even on top of that, the Department of Small Business, based on the shared services that we are currently implementing with them, they were supposed now to assist about 30 SMME with the grant towards the equipments of 10,000 each. So it's one of those things that now we make sure that we use all those type of things to assist our small businesses. Yesterday, the mayor also spoke about a program where we developed the artisan. It was a program that an advert went out through the Department of Higher Education and Training through National Skills Funds as a municipality. We then responded with a service provider where we become a beneficiary to make sure that we are able to train 100 youth into becoming artisans. Since I'm speaking with you at the moment, the 100 students, they've already completed their theory part. They are now in Mpumalanga, Nelspruit. They are busy with their practicals. We even guaranteed as a municipality that now when they come back, we need to use those students as part of our service enhancements program so that they can start being allocated to various areas to assist us. In addition to that, next month on the 5th of April, we are also having a meeting with the Department of Higher Education through their program of Decade of Artisan, where we said, now from an infrastructure point of view, where we said, based on the number of qualified individuals that we have within the municipalities, in order for us to be able to respond speedily to the problems that communities are reporting, because we don't have finances, then we engage the Department of Higher Education to say they must come and assist by recruiting the students in our TVET college in the province so that they can assist them with the stipends, PPEs, toolbox, while we then provide them with a workplace experience that in turn it assists us in responding to service delivery issues. Previously, we also, through infrastructure, there was a company that was allocated to supply Sol Plaatjie with asphalt or bitumen materials for the tar. Municipal manager, when he came, he negotiated with that particular company from the amount that they were allocated. They set aside 5 million, which we set again with the business forums, and asking the business forums to identify from their own members SMMEs that will be able to share the 5 million in terms of procurement opportunities. Lastly, as the chair has indicated earlier on, that we have developed our own preferential procurement policy. We already started, even yesterday, through this policy, that now the 110 million that it's allocated towards the BF5 project, which we need to start from the 1st of July. I sent an email to our supply chain indicating that now we need to discuss how much of that 110 needs to be set aside for our small businesses so that they can compete, as like a honorable member has indicated, that the purpose is not for us to deviate from our supply chain. The intention is to make sure that now our own small business locally, they will compete themselves from the amount that we will be allocating towards the new fund that we got it from National Treasury in terms of the water infrastructure program that needs to be used to revitalize our infrastructure. Thank you.
I suspect that there was no direct question. In fact, learning from him now, we want to respond to questions. We're not allowing you another opportunity to make presentations. That should have been done yesterday, but it's good. But the question still remains. I hear about this discovery of the procurement that has got preference. That allegation that says you are giving business to your friends in Santin and what is this, Mangaung. That allegation is a serious one. It's not only peculiar to Sol Plaatjie. It's a problem across the country. If you want to understand, when we talk about crime and corruption, in fact, the allegation is associated with that. So hence I'm saying, whilst there might be a solution now, that question will always confront you from the community. Because we're not starting developing policies now. And the issue of localization, it's not something new. So hence I'm saying it is correct, you have got this executive authority as the council, but with that executive authority, accountability goes with that as well. So hence I'm saying, even if we must not finish this thing here, it still remains a responsibility for the council to say, in the past, this is what informed us. There was nothing sinister about it. You're communicating it with your people, not with us necessarily. So, and in other words, equally, this issue of public participation. My mayor in where I come from, I got into a meeting, and the meeting was chaired by the mayor. Now people are raising hands, asking questions. So no, that one was dealt in the IDP forum. So you can't raise it here. It was raised in the IDP forum. So that's not how we deal with people, especially interest groups. Because they might not be there when you are conducting your... So that one is a prescribed process, but it must not be used to say you can't engage with interest groups. I think that is what we were saying here, to say, in fact, but the mayor did address that, to say we are open. You started with engagements with the municipal manager. We have a process. So I'm just trying to draw a line to say, listen to whoever who might be having a peculiar interest and deal with such. So I thought I should just raise those two, not necessarily to say respond to them. I'm just saying procurement now, it's not a new discovery. That allegation is common, that some people believe that we are giving business to our friends. Is this Javelin syndrome. you'd throw it there, you'd catch it at the, so you have those perceptions. So hence I'm saying you may not necessarily have to address them here. Honorable members, I said the approach might have confused yourselves. This is your time now, whether you call them follow-ups or whatever, to correct whatever. I see Honorable Mpumza, you are number one. It looks like I see Honorable Mkalipi, Honorable Mpumza.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, there was also another issue that was raised by the stakeholders. The lady was one. She raised a point that mayor calls are not responded to when business community phoning you. Now that talks to your customer care service. Is it optimally functioning? Because stakeholders, you have a responsibility to receive calls from stakeholders. They are raising issues in the wards, issues about potholes that needs to be immediately attended to before they actually develop into groot gat. So we know that there is a big hole here, famous hole. So it becomes problematic when that big hole develops on a road, because it means that that would be a shutdown on movements, and then business is affected from both sides. The municipality would actually marooned from its own community. Then your customer care service.
Honorable Mkalipi.
Chair, thank you very much, Chair. I was listening to the mayor, to the speaker, and the MPEC chair, and my brother there. None of them have responded on the issue of the sister here. Only you, official, who tried, but in passing, saying that you want to correct what she's raising, as she was saying that she does not even have an address of her own. But you are not addressing her issue. Straight to the point, to say, what is your processes in terms of applying for the RDP house? So those are the things that you are interested as a committee, because we are the members of the communities as well. And we must know that here in this municipality, how do you assist in terms of applications, and how do you ensure there's a transparency? Because that's what her point is. What is the transparency in terms of getting houses in the municipality? And I know that you are working with housing at a provincial level and at a national level. But since she's here under municipality, can you clarify that one? The second one, the speaker tried, and she also clarified the issue of public participation. But Speaker, let me tell you, because all of us as we are sitting here, we are activists. We know you can do as much as you can at your office, but they are not going to get satisfied as community. That I know. And I was happy when you are telling us that no, in fact, you even went to an extra mile and said to ward committees, the ward councillors, ensure that committee meetings are taking place and the issues must be brought to my office for me to take to different departments. But the community will always be community. So it's for you not to get tired, to attend to the public participation using the laws of the council, because the community is entitled to be updated about everything in the municipality. So my advice for you is to broaden your scope of how you also invite people to come engage with the municipality. Even when you invite them, to remember, I even question, how did you invite the stakeholders here? Because you can't be telling us that you have only 18 here. So if I was a speaker here, just to ensure that everyone won't come here and complain that there is no information that is provided to us as community of Kimberley. You even have to go as much as putting invitation around here in Kimberley in order to satisfy everyone. And when we come here as a committee members of portfolio committee, we're going to say, we even saw the invitation that were plugged in all walls of Kimberley. So those are the things that you must not get tired, Mayor, to interact and to engage with people of your municipality. Those are the two issues, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, thank you, Chair. Just on a follow-up from what the Mayor has spoken about in relation to potholes. Mayor, you indicated that you are fixing potholes and you are doing it per areas. And you have urged community to be patient, that in areas where you have not started, you are coming. As a project manager myself, I understand that project has a start and end date, and you cannot manage that which you cannot measure. Can you indicate to us the rollout plan for fixing potholes? How far will it take for you to deal with areas that you have identified? And when will you visit certain areas? So give us a milestone projection to say, here is the plan. These are appointed service providers. On this day, they will be working in this area. It will take for them this long to finish pothole. These are the streets identified. Do you have such a plan? If indeed, please make it available and accessible for the community so that they can see and be able to monitor progress. We are here, elected public representative. The reason why we're here, this municipality is regarded as dysfunctional. We want to change the narrative. There's new leadership on board. You have shown willingness and commitment to act. Now, action speaks louder than words. We need that action plan so that when we leave 3 weeks down the line, we can take a call and say, are your contractors now busy working on X, Y, and Z road as per your plan? Without the plan, we won't be able to monitor progress. Secondly, Umama, she has raised issues that her child was still in preschool. She has now graduated. It takes 12 years for a child to go through education system. I had said earlier on, we are, all of us, national, province and local, we are elected public representatives. We are here to serve the needs of the community. If there's a stakeholder or a community that says, I've been waiting for my house for more than 12 years, it then becomes our responsibility to find out what has happened, where are the delays, how are you committing to assist her? I did not hear that commitment. It's a specific issue. It would be nice to have certain commitments and undertakings and ensure that this gathering was not a waste of time. It's a specific issue that needs specific attention. I would like you to commit that, not saying you're going to build a house, but you're going to make a follow-up and understand where are the challenges, and if she does not qualify, she needs to know, she must be given feedback, but don't sit with the hope that one day you will get the house when the system or there are certain challenges that makes it practically impossible for her to get the house. So that's what I'm requesting, and I need commitment from your side in that aspect to say you will attend to her issue, and she needs to forward her details to whoever is charged. You are a political head. You can put your head on the block and take the contact details and direct her to the relevant officials within your department and make a follow-up. That's what we are here for, to listen and make follow-up on issues. Secondly, I also want you to also take that, the toll-free number that is not working, call it, ascertain whether or not indeed it takes this long, and if indeed, then do something about it. There are challenges, you must respond to those challenges. We must not generalize in our response, but let us be specific, because specific issues have been raised. I would want also to satisfy myself if I can be given that number. Maybe after this meeting, I'm going to call and make sure that indeed what you are saying, it's not far-fetched from the truth, so that we are dealing with real issues. We must be able to solve issues directly. Lastly, in terms of the legislation, municipalities are compelled and encouraged to use your available resources to improve on public participation and encourage communities to take part in the running and the affairs of your municipalities. Whatever budget, little as it is, but the law compels you to encourage participation of communities in the affairs of the municipality. Information is power. What we are seeing here, it does not transcend, or it's not a microcosm of the society. We're expecting this hall to be packed even there upstairs. So once the community distance itself from the leaders, it means they have given up. And that speaks on your legitimacy to govern. You might have authority, but when you have lost legitimacy, it then becomes something else, because the community does no longer find expression or associate yourself with you, even though you are a elected representative. So make sure that you don't walk alone, but you walk with the people. When you call meetings, this hall must be packed and people must fight for space and speaking time. That's how leaders should act at all material times. It should be a concern that will come from different provinces. I'm from Western Cape, she's from Northern Cape, others are from KZN and Eastern Cape, to address a half-full hall, which is a dysfunctional municipalities. So my appeal in closing, Chair, is that let us make sure that our communities still has hope, and we do whatever we can within our power to deliver to the promise that we've made ourselves to the people. After all, we are the elected public representatives and we are the servant of the people. Thank you, Chair.
For responding, Honorable Space.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think it's important that we should, that I should mention this, that part of a session like this is over and above engaging with stakeholders and asking questions and raising issues, is to also come forward with solutions or recommendations, and that's what we're also here for. And I'm glad that my colleague mentioned the telephone system, because I was about to raise the issue that my question was not answered. It might not be an important question for you to answer, but it is actually one of the biggest problems if your customers or your residents cannot reach you. And in that regard, I think you should possibly look at a survey that you do with your residents to see what it is that they experience and use that positively. The second one is, I have said that to the speaker, and without complicating your life, please, from today on, make sure that you report in council about public participation activities, but what it is that your ward councillors are actually doing from month to month, as well as your ward committees. It will keep them on their toes, and they will be exposed for not handing in reports, and you will see it will get better. I was a speaker before, it happens, and you will see improvement. If that is what you need to do, you must do that. Really. And then with your businesses, having business on your side for any mayor, for any municipality, can only be good. So I do again ask that you engage with business formally on a regular basis, determined by both parties across the board, and make sure that it is result driven and it doesn't become a talk shop. So thank you very much for the opportunity. We really hope to see that things will improve. We are always optimistic. We can never lose hope because things can change and people can transform and municipalities can be turned around. Let's see if we can bring back the beauty of what was once upon a time a very beautiful city. Thank you.
Honorable Opperman.
Thank you, Chairperson. I want to ask the mayor or the municipal manager. Yesterday, we were privileged to have MEC Fast there and MEC Foslo, who gave us a breakdown of the 500 million that the Premier allocated to Sol Plaatjie Municipality. And of those money, 215 million was for urgent maintenance of potholes and your sewage system, and 118 million for road maintenance. So I just like a breakdown of what is left of that 333 million for the potholes and road maintenance. And what is your usually we take 48 hours to fix a pothole. I want to know what is your turnover time here locally, and how many potholes have you fixed of that 333 million? Thank you.
No, in the city of Cape Town, it's 48 hours, the turnaround time. So I think the question should be, what is the turnaround time here?
Now I'm being disturbed that there's a critical stakeholder. Despite that he has come late, but when he describes himself or herself that she represents ratepayers, it puts pressure now on me whether we must listen to him, but would be very strict. I'm not consulting the committee to take a decision. We must allow that ratepayers association leader. We're giving you less than the others. It's 10 minutes now with yourself. Zaguwe, Mamke.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I apologize to the committee and everyone that's present. My name is Tumelo Musikare. I'm representing the Sol Plaatjie Ratepayers Union, SOPRO. It's been many, many years. Hopefully it won't take 10 minutes. It's been many years that we've had challenges with the Sol Plaatjie municipality. And unfortunately, the weight of all those challenges is on our new mayor and the people who are in charge of the municipality. Having said that, they were elected by us to change things in our city. And they have the capacity, I believe. They have the capacity and they have the will. Otherwise, they would not be present here. They would have made excuses not to account to the public and to Parliament. The challenges that we have are many. If we talk about them individually, it's going to take more than 10 hours probably. But let's go to the basics. Let's go to the numbers. If you look at the numbers, if you look at the finances of the municipality, you'll realize that even if we had complained via text or if we had protested again and again, which is what's happening in some areas, there are currently 65 WhatsApp groups, community groups, that I'm adminning, that on a daily basis there are complaints of water, sewerage, and this, which I said the current leadership of the municipality inherited this. The challenges of the municipality started in 2011-2012 financial year, when the finances started getting bad and the Auditor-General's reports started saying, what are these reports that you are giving? And there are challenges with electricity, there are challenges with water, there's challenges with the management of the municipality. Now, let me get to the specifics. We have a municipality that is a 2-point-something billion rand municipality on paper. In reality, they know there's no such money coming. The budget is overinflated so the salaries can be pushed up. If the municipality is evaluated as a municipality, as a B-level municipality, then the salaries are pushed up, which is what has happened since 2011 to date. At one of the council meetings for this financial year, the discussion was, as the mayor pointed out, the discussion was based on pressure that we put on as ratepayers and as businesses as well. We cannot afford the extra price on electricity. We can't afford 7% increase. In 2018, the municipality wanted to charge an extra 260 basic charge. This financial year, they wanted to charge a basic charge again on electricity. We can't afford it. Here's the reason behind it. The municipality, according to the annual report for 2022 financial year, the past financial year, the municipality has lost 29% of the electricity. The municipality lost 29.69% of the electricity that they bought from Eskom. That equates to 127 million units of electricity. 127 million units of electricity lost that the municipality can account for. If you go outside right now, if you step outside, the street lights are on during the day. That 29.69% loss of electricity, NERSA only permits between 5% and 12%. The municipality has lost 29%, which is a 17.69% more than what NERSA allows. Who pays for it? Not the municipality. We are charged extra every time because the administration of the municipality does not do its work. They do not go and fix the lights. They do not go and do what they need to do. And at the end of the year, all that they can do is say, you need to pay more because we can't afford to pay Eskom. Currently, Sol Plaatjie Municipality owes Eskom, according to the February report on their website, they owe Eskom 719 million rands. Majority of the households in our municipality are prepaid users, which means they get cash first and then they decide we are not going to pay Eskom, we need to pay our high salaries first. Which is a challenge because at the end of the day, Eskom has been granted an increase by NERSA. At the end of the day, we are going to be asked again in April. They're starting now in April with the budgeting, and they will be saying again they want to have an increase, and now they have to have that basic charge. As the mayor said, their budget is less. Why is their budget less? 29% of the electricity disappears. How much water disappears in our municipality? And this is under the watch of the new leadership as well. Under the watch of the people who want to make the change, who I believe can make the change. According to the report of last year, the Sol Plaatjie municipality lost 64.63% of the water that they bought. Meaning if the Sol Plaatjie municipality buys water from Water Affairs, 100 liters of water, if they buy 100 million liters of water, for example, 100 kiloliters of water, for example, then 63 kiloliters of water, 63 million liters of water disappears. We as the ratepayers and businesses use only 30-something% of that water, 36% of that water, I believe. And we pay for the 100%. It's unfair, it's unacceptable, and Parliament needs to step in. You are seeing the protests, you are seeing the dissatisfaction and the people getting angry. And we need you to step in. We've countless times complained to the municipality. They have tried. There's a new there's probably going to be a new CFO, there's going to be, the people who caused the chaos are out of the municipality currently. The people who can make the change are in this room. But we need you to step in and force them to do their work. We are trying through protesting and burning tires in front of their offices. It's not sustainable. It's a waste of their time, it's a waste of our time, it's a waste of resources as well. We need Parliament to step in, please. The debt to date, that Sol Plaatjie is owed, that Sol Plaatjie owes Eskom and Water Affairs, affects us directly, not indirectly. It affects us directly because every year the price goes up. What happens at the end of the day, people have to cut corners and even steal electricity. The Sol Plaatjie municipality started last year by blocking, when the metro started blocking people's electricity, they started blocking businesses and government electricity. But it's an eye blinder. It's not sustained. If you look at, I was looking at the charts now, if you look at the equitable share, the Sol Plaatjie municipality will say they do not have money, they do not have funds to implement, and they are talking to businesses, and the businessman in this room was shaking his head and said lies. They've been consulted to talk about the 100 million that's available, to talk about, but that money does not come to the local businesses. The local businesses are suffering. The locals are suffering. We are suffering to pay exorbitant prices so that high-ranking officials can be paid the salaries that they are paid, so that money can go down the drain basically through water losses and the sewage in our streets and the potholes that are being fixed with the 500 million that has disappeared as well. Parliament needs to urgently step in. Equitable share money, capital expenditure money. If I can, just briefly. In July, when the new financial year started, there was a budget that was set aside of 15.8 million, and in July, that month, only 941,000 rands was spent on the project. In August, 15.837 million, 3 million was spent. The municipality budgets this much, and when they get the money, equitable share, when they get money for capital expenditure, money that doesn't require me to go and buy electricity or pay my rates and taxes or anything, free, technically free money. They do not spend it because there are fights within the municipality of who's going to get the project, and then the contracted people, like for example, the project in Tlhageng, the Tlhageng retention dam. There was a contractor appointed to do the work there. That contractor has taken the municipality to court because the municipality gave the contract to another company. We need Parliament to please step in. Look at the finances of the municipality and the tatters that those municipalities in. Like the gentleman said, if you can take this approach, it will help us, because we've tried to ask for reports, we've tried to write to NERSA, we've tried to write to the municipality, and to the credit of the current leadership, they listened. They listened. They did not increase the electricity by 7%. They did not have that basic charge that they wanted to charge. But they're going to do it because they're under pressure now, and we are going to suffer if you as government do not step in. With us, the ratepayers, the businesses, and the municipality, if we work together, this is a diamond city. You shouldn't be stepping out of here and getting into a pothole or the possibility of being robbed. Right outside of this building, the street lights in front here, drugs are being sold. The university kids are selling themselves outside here at night. Right outside, the street lights, the historic street lights were taken one by one. The municipality tried and put some of them in this passage outside. They were taken, all of them. Things are being stolen because there is a lack of stern leadership in the administration of the municipality. Please step in, help us. Thank you.
At least you will not be blamed now. Ma'am Keza, you are not Ma'am Honorable Kabanchava. Come in.
What? Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, as much as I'm partly covered to what my colleagues were saying about the lady that was complaining about the number, I want to remind the municipality about the Constitution of South Africa. We have a Constitution of South Africa that guides all of us to say everyone has a right. As much as I have a right, but I must not deprive the right of others. This Constitution is a book has a Bill of Rights inside this book. It's a book that can make all of us to be respecting and respectable to each other. My question is that, Chair, okay, has the lady crying about her number? There is a clause in the Constitution that in the human right, the person has a right to dignity, has a right to shelter, has a right to life. Is the municipality, don't they think that to not hearing the cry of this lady, they are depriving her right also? Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Oberman, you must be the last one now.
Thank you, Chairperson, and I'll be quick. When you fail to answer a politician, they will come back and they will ask the same thing of you in a different manner until you answer. So yesterday I asked you a couple of questions and it wasn't answered. So I'm going to reiterate myself now, asking it again. I want to know, at the end of this month, March 2023, the total amount due to Eskom is 147 million. The total amount due to the Department of Water and Sanitation is 51 million. And you already said you do not have sufficient cash. So I want you to please be transparent and honest and tell me, what are your plans since you already defaulted on your payment plan with Eskom? So what is the next step now after we exit this building? Then your collection rate is below 60% for water sanitation and refuse removal. So how are you going to deal with this challenge in a sustainable and efficient manner? And how are you going to address the illegal connections for water? Because your water losses is at 62% currently. How are you going to reduce this financial risk? And please answer, because I will find a way to ask it again. Thank you.
I'm also trying to manage the meeting. Normally, we normally ask questions and get responses. We allow members to have follow-up, and then we respond and close the meeting. So I'm trying to see how best we can do it, myself and you, Mayor. Generally, some of the follow-ups were comments. They were not necessarily questions, informed at times by policy, so by implication, it says we expect action. So in your response, Mayor, you'd also be making your closing remarks too. Where you have picked something that requires you to say something, you can do that. But in the end, where you might have picked something from the ratepayers, you might want to comment, but in the end, you also make your closing remarks. I think that's the best approach. Unless it depends on you. If you want somebody to do something before you, you can do so as well. Over to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chair. There are a number of questions that were raised. I will try to answer most of them and then leave the other one of the Mama for the House to the Executive Mayor. There are issues that are being raised around the, I think it's the calls for the business or the call center not being answered to. That is the truth. It's a fact. We have challenges in terms of when calls are coming in. You find that now one of our call center agencies, they are still busy dealing with another client, so you'll find that it keeps on ringing. But what I need to assure Parliament it is, we are one of the 6 municipalities out of 28 which responded to the General Budget Support Program of National Treasury, where we responded as a LED. We did get funds from National Treasury, from the General Budget Support, which is funded by European Union. They gave us about 45 million. Now, part of that 45 million, the program that we are currently implementing is talking about business expansion, attraction, and retention, to see how best we can be able to deal with issues that are affecting the businesses. We started first by having some scoping. It was not an easy process, it is true, where we needed business to come and share with us their challenges that they are experiencing from Sol Plaatjie, so that now we have things in writing, so that now when we use this particular program, we know exactly how we are going to implement and start addressing some of those issues that communities are continually confronted with. The program also, we will be doing a benchmark at Cape Town. We'll also be dealing with a benchmark at Rwanda, at the city of Kigali. And then on another hand, part of the funding that is going to come from National Treasury is going to enhance our current call center situation, so that we can then be able to see how best we can then be able to help the community. The part of the call center also, it's going to be linked, though currently we do have a system that we are using called EDEMS. It's not really helping much, so, but we will also be looking in terms of now, how do we then integrate our maintenance systems in responding to our own challenges or calls that community report to the call center, so that now if anybody else wants to follow up that particular call that they reported, then they will be able to be given a feedback in terms of real time by the call center in terms of where it is the problem and what is exactly happening. So this coming week, we will be having a demo with our own internal staff, so that now we can relook in terms of how the system is going to work and start making sure that we move forward with the whole issue of the implementation. Yes, there are issues around challenges in terms of sanitations and water. Internally, what we have just done now, we shared with our city engineers where we developed a weekly schedule. The weekly schedule, we want to be able to see how many calls were reported at the call center and how many calls we have attended as the municipality. And one of the other things with the weekly schedule, it is to determine that now how does our people as employees spend their first 8 hours in a week, so that we can able to see whether during the 8 hours what work was done. It should not be a situation that now work was left to be done during the overtime because people want to end the overtime. So those are type of the things that we have put into place. And then we have already, my office already developed, I think about 90% of a standard operating and maintenance procedure, which also it will be outlining. One of the other things, it will be outlining different types of problems that community raises. What will be the response time for that particular each activities? Because it's important for communities to be able to know that if I report this type of a problem, it will take municipality 2 hours or a day to respond. So that is part of the standard operating procedures for operations and maintenances, which is very clear. We will share with the communities also to be able to see how we are going to deal with these matters. We will also start having issues of weekly meetings where we are holding our people accountable in terms of problems that communities are reporting. It is true, even myself or even the mayor, we will receive calls or WhatsApp from the communities based on the things that they are complaining about. So we need to find a way, how do we innovate and come up with the best ways, how do we deal with the current situations. Most of the issues around the loss of electricity and water, I know some of the things the municipal manager spoke about yesterday in terms of our challenges, even where he indicated that now we used to be having a loss of water to 63 or 64%. Now it has been reduced to 50%. There is a program, honorable members, in place of DBSA, which speaks of revenue enhancements. That program that speaks of revenue enhancements is funded by DBSA. It deals also in terms of the current losses of water and losses of electricity, how best as a municipality we can start improving on those things. We are aware of those issues, but we are not just turning a blind eye. On the side of electricity, there is also an on-tech. You are aware yesterday, municipal manager spoke about 16,000 of meters that are not on a solar. That is part of a situations where we are losing electricity. But this program of revenue enhancements, it is currently dealing with those issues of electricity and water losses that as a municipality we are incurring. Then the issues of the grants that often Sol Plaatjie is not spending, and these grants end up being taken back. I wrote a memo to all our city engineers. They are here. And I can assure you, they were supposed to give me a feedback on the 10th of this month because I needed all the procurement plan of our projects that we are going to advertise. And I needed also the terms of reference for those procurement plan so that when we move into a financial year, we were already starting to address how those projects are going to be advertised, not to go into a financial year, then we start talking about advertisings of the projects. So I also got a feedback, which I'm still going to communicate with my colleagues internally, where I ask the procurement plans of the financial year 22-23. Yes, I agree with you. The picture is not okay, because there are procurement plans that are submitted, but there were no terms reference that was designed for most of those projects. So people are still going to be able to explain why we are not be able to implement those projects, and as a result, it's affecting the municipality to fail in providing service delivery. I think I have the street lights that are always on. The matter, yes, it was initially discussed with the previous incumbent as the city electrical engineer to say we need to ensure that our street lights that are forever burning 24 hours, it is costing municipality. Something needs to be done. And unfortunately, the incumbent left, but that doesn't mean the current incumbent that is acting on his behalf cannot be able to assist in addressing these street lights that are forever burning. So it is one of the other things that we will have to ensure that how best we deal with them. We are fully aware of those type of things. And these are some of the things that as a municipalities, honorable members of parliament, we are taking serious of the comments that communities are raising and some of the things that you are raising to us, so that we can make sure that we attend to those issues. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Program Director, Chairperson. Let me quickly touch on the issue of my mama from Ward 4 on the issue of housing. Now, normally what happens in the municipality is that we are allowing community members to register at the housing department in Matlalo and in housing support center. Now, normally what you do after registering, you get a reference number, meaning that you are in need of a place to stay, whether it's a flat or a informal settlement we would like to erect your structure at. But what I will do now for Mama is that I just want Mama to give me all the details as to the procedure that is followed, so that I can shorten the procedure that she has followed, because it can't be business as usual that Mama has been staying out without an address for more than 12 years. That's inhuman. But I want to assure Mama that today, once we leave here, Mama will know as to what's a reference number and what's the next step that she has to follow. Now, immediately after getting an area of staying, what we do as a municipality, we come and survey the place as to whether is it suitable for human settlement. Once that has been approved and it's suitable for people to stay in, we then write to COGTA to say, this is a land that we have identified. This is what we think that this land can accommodate a number of people. So we're having the joint programs with COGTA, whereby we are helping our residents with human settlement. And then immediately once we are done with COGTA, we apply for a grant called INEP, because INEP only gets approved in an area which is about to be formalized, because they can't approve a grant whereby the informal settlements are not yet formalized. So Mama, be rest assured that your issue will be solved by today. You will have a positive response and a positive feedback as to what should happen next. And then on the issue that was raised around the ESCOM debt, yes, indeed, it is true that the municipality is owing ESCOM, and yes, we are doing strides in order to make sure that we want to reduce our debt. And now one of our honorable members from parliament asked to say that since this month, we are owing 160 million, and we have made a presentation yesterday to say that we are unable to pay. But I think I must also share with you that last month we managed to pay ESCOM 140 million rand because we needed to recover from our default that we had in December. Because in December, we had a very serious challenge when we had to pay ESCOM our current account. But we have made strides and we have made engagements with provincial government. As we speak now, there are commitment letters that provincial government will be paying and is currently trying to pay off their debt. And they have made a commitment to say that they want to settle off the debt that they owe to the municipality. And also as a municipality, we've made a commitment to say that once that is in place, we are going to make sure that we try and settle our ESCOM account. Because this ESCOM account has been a problem for many years. This is a historical problem that we have inherited as a municipality, a problem which came for a very long time, whereby most of our residences were unable to pay their rates and taxes, which led to us defaulting within ESCOM. With regards to the issue of potholes, our turnaround strategy, what are we saying and what are we going to do? What we are saying is that we are having a plan in place which deals with clusters. But I must admit that we had challenges during this process because at times you would get there is no tar to do some area. You would get sometimes that due to the rains we could not go and do a pothole because it ran there, all of those issues. But now what we have done is that we have put a plan in place to make sure that within 4 weeks a cluster should be finished. But given the condition that all the materials is available to come in, make sure that that area is fixed. But also we must admit that we had serious challenges of cash flows with regards to the roads and stormwater maintenance. But now we want to rest assure you that in our budget, we made it the point that our roads and stormwater channel becomes our priority because of it has been a credit. Our people have been saying that we're having a serious challenge of potholes. And some of the reasons that these potholes are there is because most of our stormwater channels were blocked. So we need to have a daily maintenance to ensure that water is flowing throughout the stormwater channels and that no water stays along on the road. But before Parliament leaves, I will ask the technical director just to provide us with a plan so that Parliament must see as to how do we do our potholes and how many potholes have we already covered since the previous financial year up until today. So we will give you all those details before you leave by today. And then the issue that was raised around the call center, I think the acting ED has touched it, but he has partially touched it because as we speak now, the call center is operational. We have improved on our previous problems that we had. But now, even if you can call now, there will be a response from the call center. We did improve, we did manage to solve our problems that we had, but it is not yet where we want it to be. We want the call center to be the backbone of the institution, whereby each and every problem that goes out, the municipality should be able to respond to it. And now how the call center works is that once a call comes in, a reference number is generated for us to be able to track progress as to whether this call has been responded to. But rest assured, the call center is currently operational. And yes, we must agree that there are serious delays within projects within the institution. And that is one of the issues that I've taken upon myself to say that we are saying that we don't want to see any delays within programs, because it is so painful to see that money being returned back to Treasury, money that could have been used to improve services within our institution. That one, it is a project which I'm working on a daily basis to ensure that money is not returned to National Treasury again. And then we are having an issue of the water losses. I must admit that Kimberley is having very serious ailing and aged infrastructure, which has been built many years ago. But our calls and aspiration as the people of Sol Plaatjie Municipality has been answered through the PFI grant. The PFI grant purpose is to come and fix the aging infrastructure of water and sanitation within the Sol Plaatjie Municipality. And as we speak, we received a report last month from technical director to say that our water losses has reduced from 64% to 50%, because our service delivery has improved with regards to fixing our leaking water meters, which we are currently having within our city. We are having a team called War on Leaks, which deals directly with leaks which are around the city. So the problem of the water situation that we are currently having in Kimberley will be addressed through the PFI. And we will make sure that all the water interruptions that we've been having in the city are suspended, because this is what this project is going to seek to intend to address. And then the other issue that was raised was to say, how will this project benefit locals? That's what we want. We want locals to be the main driver of this project. It was estimated that this project is going to create around 100 jobs within the city. So we want our local people to be the ones who are at the center of driving this project. We want to work along with our business people within our institution to make sure that we make this project a success. In Setswana, they say, "Mabogo dinku diathibana," meaning that if we work together all, we would be able to achieve meaningful progress within our city. Chair, I think I have covered all the issues which were not covered. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. The leadership of the municipality, officials from the different of government, and members. I can see that we warmed up almost towards the end. I can see some stakeholders at the top there. You are also welcome. I think the message we are carrying, Mayor and your team and community, as you were correctly saying, ratepayer representative, we wouldn't want to come here and there's nothing that changes after we have left. We were given an impression that the municipality is not functioning well by both COGTA nationally and the Auditor-General. So that's what has been guiding us, yesterday's engagement and today. And I'm sure everybody is taking notes. And I'm sure we will also be interested to know what happens after this session. And when I say what happens after this session, we are not assuming the responsibility of the council. The council is the authority here. All we are doing is our work as well, to conduct oversight. In fact, somebody told me in one session, he says, you get people from the National Assembly coming to a municipality to ask questions. Why not the province? But it's somebody who does not read the Constitution properly. So the Constitution does give us that responsibility to ask the minister, you ask the province, you ask the institution. And when we do that, we are doing it on behalf of the people. So basically, we are happy that we have had this engagement, critical stakeholders, and I'm sure as indicated, the mayor is committing to say you are stakeholders of Sol Plaatjie. They are going to follow up on that. In fact, one excitement, Honorable Mayor, when I was entering Kimberley, is to see that university. Though some comments were made here about it, but I was there when the sword was turned. And we are always proud to say, people always ask us questions about the democracy and what did it do. We built a university here in Mpumalanga. So when that question gets raised, people must know, out of nothing, it was a felt there, turned a sword, started a university here in Mpumalanga and something in Limpopo. So we must just get excited at times, but make sure that whatever issues that come out of that institution are corrected. We must guard it jealously. So if there are people doing whatever, I didn't hear him well, but I think he did mention something about an institution that I'm saying I'm proud of. Not me only, the whole country. Otherwise, thank you very much. This session has come to an end. We will now be visiting projects today. And we'll always appreciate company as we do that, so that we don't, we must be told properly about whatever project, so that we don't live here with misconception. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.